Hey guys, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing another comic book review. Today we're going to be looking at Conan, issue number 2, by Jim Sub, with art by Rob De La Torre. We did have a change here. The colorist is now Dean White, and I think that even though the colors are still generally the same, the application of them is slightly better because I felt a lot surer about what I was seeing here than I did last time. And I think that that was a good improvement, and the letters are still done by Richard Starkins, and I really loved this issue. It was probably the best out of the 3 we've had so far, and hopefully that continues on where each issue is better than the last. And I might actually consider getting the collected edition, the trade edition of this, so that I can have them all in one go. But I'm not sure. It depends on the price, because if it's only 4 issues plus, you know, the little bit from the free comic book day issue, it should not be that expensive. It should be about $12 maybe, like a collected edition. Maybe it should be 10 actually, but I don't think that Titan is willing to make it that cheap, because they do have to share the profits with another company, right, with Heroic Signature. So I'm not sure. Depending on the price, I might get it, I might not. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to continue to collect the issues as they come out, at the very least, right? So yeah, issue number 2. Like I said, the color has changed, and it's really, really good. I don't really like this cover too much. I think it's too dark. It doesn't really show too much of Conan, but you know, his musculature there is very impressive, even if it's completely unrealistic, but it works well. So yeah, in this one, we start with Conan and Brizza scouting, and we get to see this image of them in the whole page as the narrator catches us up, and we move on to the second page where we get to see the same scene from a different kind of angle with a smaller version, and it looks really nice. I like that difference between the initial page and the second page, where we get to see them again doing that. And we basically see that the undead pigs are still at Howler's Roam, and they're hauling all of these bodies onto these giant nets. They're sealing the nets up, and then they're pulling these bodies to an unknown location. They're walking north, and this is, of course, concerning, because I'm pretty sure north is towards Samaria, and that is ultimately where they end up, right? But Brizza and Conan decide to follow them, and then Brizza wants to kill them all. She's like, this is our opportunity. They don't know we're here. They're kind of occupied with something else. We might be able to kill all of them now and be done with it. However, Conan tells her, dude, no, we don't know where these guys are going. We might kill them, but that's not fixing the problem. We have to follow them to the source and see what we can do there, right? So that's what they do. They move on. They know where to take the bodies, and they move on, right? So Conan and Brizza then have a moment where they're kind of, when they stop, because the undead creatures stop as well, and they kind of do this thing where they turn towards the sky, open their mouths, and it looks like they're waiting for a signal to arrive to them, which is kind of interesting. They're kind of like cell phone towers, and they have to get near one in order to get a signal before they can continue, right? There's like this handoff kind of situation that's happening there. And during one of these pauses, Conan and Brizza talk about his sword, and apparently his sword was a Pictish sword that he got when he was battling some kingdom that invaded the Sumerians, the barbarians, when he was young. So in his initial story, when he becomes a man, when he starts his battle, which we saw in issue 0, he gets a sword. This sword turns out to be a Pictish treasure, and him and Brizza fight about it. He's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna keep it for now. Eventually, when we're done with this, you can pay me a lot of money for it. And she gets mad. She's like, no, you don't deserve this. This is not yours. Give it back to me right now. They start fighting. They make too much noise, and so one of the undead notices them, goes towards them, attacks them. Conan easily dispatches it, showing off that Conan is a badass. And then they decide to stop doing this. They decide to not fight each other while they're on this mission, because it could cost them their lives. And so they continue to move on to wherever it is they're going, following the undead, right? And so eventually, days later, the undead stop, and it seems to be stopped for forever. Basically, they're done, right? And Conan and Brizza have a nice moment. They talk to each other, they bond, and then Conan helps Brizza change her bandages, make sure that her her stuff is healing correctly, her injuries are healing correctly, and then they have a moment of passion, a night of passion together, and it's quite good. I like how there's moments that are kind of poetic in the way that they talk to each other during their scene there. And it's pretty what's it called? What's the word? Tasteful. Like it's clear that it's happening, but there's nothing shown, so it's not necessarily inappropriate for teenagers or anything like that. Like the way that it's handled is nice and tasteful, and it works really nicely. And I like that scene because it humanizes Conan and Briza and makes them connected and helps you connect with them as well because they're sharing a very human experience, right? And so then they move on. The next day, they go deeper into Samaria, where they come across Conan's village that has been destroyed. Then a boom of noise and light reverberates across this valley, this area where they are. And Conan and Briza are sent through this vision, this revelation of what's happening here. We get to see that they go across time and space or something, and they end up having this vision of these snake people, these lizard people, a skull, and some other stuff. And they finish their revelation. And at that point, I was like, oh, it's Tools of Doom, right? Like snake priests or, lizard people and a skull face, that is Tools of Doom. This is going to be a cool villain that, because he is kind of immortal, he manages to come back and haunt Conan now, because it's a good way to continue to have Robert E. Howard characters interacting with each other, right? And I'm not really sure if that's the case. I'm not sure that that's what's going to happen, but it works out really nicely. And I think that's really good there. So, and then a battle, a big battle. Conan and Briza against this whole village. Conan is not necessarily upset, but unhappy at the situation. He has to cut down his fellow men, the people that he grew up with, the people that he knows, and it sucks, but he has to do it. He tells them that, I'd rather you die by my hand now than continue to serve this evil, right? And so it works out. They have a big battle. They win. And then somehow, out of the mist, a black tower emerges. And this tower is basically a wizard's tower. It looks like a wizard's tower. And it has this green gas coming out of it. And that's where the story ends. And overall, so good. This was a great issue. I loved it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed my time with this. I love that two-page spread where it shows the revelation, this vision that they're having. I really hope they make that into a poster that just looks so good. So yeah, overall, really good stuff here. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Let me know down below what you guys thought. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys later.